and steady.
Oh yeah.
What is up, everybody out there? It is the Sneaks and Sats podcast. This is episode 36. I am Sneaker Peter.
And I am the Statty Daddy, Julian, over here for our Marcus Smart episode.
Very good.
I don't know
didn't
if
have
he's
one.
still 36.
Jerome Bettis?
I don't know.
Maybe. I'm not too sure.
I don't know if Marcus Smart is still wearing 36 now that he's moved. I think he is.
In Memphis?
Yeah.
I think you're right, bro. I think you're right.
I can't think of anybody else.
It's a very obscure number.
Sheed?
31? No, you're right. It's in the 30s for sure. You're right.
Let's see.
Look that up.
Marcus Smart is still wearing 36.
Okay.
So
Good.
I'll take that one. And Rasheed Wallace did wear 36 at some point with the Pistons.
Okay.
He switched between 30 and 36 a lot. I don't know why.
Good call. Nice. I would not have got that.
That's right.
Rasheedy. Don't forget to follow us on our social media and also our YouTube page. Subscribe to our page, like and comment on our videos. Follow us on our Instagram, X, TikTok, and Threads.
That's right.
We missed you guys last week,
Sorry about that.
and we are back.
I had
No worries.
tuberculosis. I did not.
The man was sick, but he's back.
I had pancreatitis.
Did you really? You did not.
No. I had
Coffeeitis.
I had really bad itis.
After eating a lot of food.
I was so
Yeah.
I had hungover-itis.
But we're glad to have the Statty Daddy back. He got a little sick, but
Did you record without me last week?
George?
The hidden episode, the yet to be released,
Yeah,
the lost
yeah.
tapes.
The lost season. Yeah. No, man, I would never do that. I would never do that episode without you. Don't tell him.
Like and subscribe.
But a lot of stuff to go over. A lot of stuff to talk about. The NBA, the NBA world is going through a lot of stuff right now too.
Lots of bad well, not lots of bad stuff.
Yeah, kind of like a downer.
a big bad one with Joel Embiid.
Yes.
Although I guess so, the word is, if you guys don't know, Joel Embiid in the Warriors game, which was his first game played in the last two, he dove on the court for a ball, and Jonathan Kuminga inadvertently fell on his leg, which may or may not have caused or exaggerated a previous injury, because he did miss the last two games with the left knee soreness.
Yes.
And now the rumor is that he has a left knee meniscus tear.
Mm-hmm.
Although the 76ers, I guess, are pushing back and saying they don't have enough information right now.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know if it's a tear or not. I did hear that he came back out to the bench at least in that Warriors game. I could be wrong, but I thought I heard that he came back out of the locker room at some point, even though he was limping a lot. So could be encouraging.
Do you think it happened on that play with Kuminga?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I don't know.
How did he react after he got hurt? Was it like,
he
got
yelled
hurt?
and he didn't get up.
Okay.
But
Yeah, that's tough.
yeah, it sucks. And I was listening to a podcast today they had a athletic trainer on, and he was just saying, Embiid has had this exact injury before. He's torn his left
knee?
leg meniscus, and
Left. Sorry.
yeah, so same knee, same injury, but they just don't know right now. Obviously, this guy is not a part of the 76ers team or anything. Their staff, but he's saying, and what the 76ers have said is that they don't know, so there's a chance, it's not as bad as we think, and he could be back soon. But he was, I also heard in this podcast from Zach Lowe, he was scoring 1.05 points per minute.
Jesus.
So a point per minute, which is I guess far and away the best ever, more than Wilt when he averaged 50 points per game, and more than Jordan.
It's basically just unstoppable.
Pretty much unstoppable. Like, you couldn't do anything, and that's why it's so tough seeing him get injured. Because he was having such a great season. The 76ers were rolling.
They have their team is playing well.
The team as a whole is playing the best they've played in a while.
Maxey has just got named All-Star Reserve.
And he dropped 50.
And he just dropped 50,
on
exactly.
The Jazz, so...
You think that the 76ers are kind of like turning turning a new leaf just because they're kind of known for not having the success in the playoffs and stuff like that. Plus, Embiid, not having the success himself either.
Yeah.
So you just hate to see the good players getting hurt.
You could feel that momentum building.
Yes.
This is like working for the first, not the first time, but like there's always been something. So it's been a circus in Philadelphia for a long time. Even though it's been a good circus,
yeah.
There's always been something, and now finally it's like no drama, everything's good, and he gets injured again, and that's the second part of why this is like kind of heartbreaking. Is like this man just can't stay healthy.
Yeah.
Ironically, maybe for better or for worse, Ben Simmons came back for one game, his first game since November,
and got hurt,
and now is injured as well. He got hurt on a play, I guess, is what I was reading. Is that the last play that he was about to be subbed out, and then he hurt himself.
His back,
I think it's usually his back. So kind of ironic, cosmic. I don't know.
Yeah.
Cosmic badness for those two.
And then Jared Vanderbilt also turned his right foot last night and didn't come back to the game. And they're saying it's going to be a couple weeks until he comes back also now. So
yeah,
that was kind of a huge blow to the Lakers. Probably one of our best, if not our best defender.
I think, AD's our best defender.
Oh, no.
I would say so.
I
but
forget.
Vanderbilt.
I just put him on a higher.
AD's in a different...
Yeah, I put him on in terms of... Yeah.
He's in a different...
Exactly.
No, I know what you mean.
But the Lakers looked like... They actually looked like a team last night.
Yeah, and I didn't catch the game, unfortunately, but when I checked the score... Yeah, I was working.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Like...
Dude.
No LeBron, no AD. Celtics are fully healthy. Mm-hmm. And the Lakers win. Super weird.
The Lakers hit 19 or 23 pointers last night. I think, obviously, when you play a team that's going to hit that much, it's hard to come back from that. Because unless you're matching that with 15 threes, right?
Yeah, when I looked at the stats, the Celtics did not shoot well.
They didn't shoot well, so that was that. The Lakers played decent defense, but they played free. They looked very free.
I heard that it was a very fast-paced Lakers.
Super fast-paced. Austin Reeves looked like he wasn't hesitant at all. Rui was the only one that kind of had a slower game, but picked it up towards the second half. D'Lo had a bad shooting game, but picked it up in the second half. Like I said, they seemed more free. They got a 10-point lead and just never really gave it up the whole game. Very impressive.
Crazy.
To be honest.
And it was weird because, if just like 2 weeks ago, the Celtics were undefeated at home. They were like 20-0, and they were starting to be rumbling because the 80s Celtics hold the record for the best home record of all time, 40-1.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Dude.
The 80s Garden, I would not want to ever set foot in there. Mm-hmm. And there was like, 20-0, you're approaching that point. Mm-hmm. And now this is like their third or fourth home loss. They lost to Denver. They gave one up to,
I think it was Sixers. The Sixers.
Sixers or Dallas,
or
maybe.
Like that.
And then and now the Lakers. So really weird for them, for a really good team too.
Yes, and a good win for the Lakers just to kind of boost their confidence in the locker room, and to do it without the big two helps out a lot too.
So I know you and I think generally, even though we really like Austin Reeves going into this season, we weren't like, he's going to become an all-star. I don't think our expectations were like crazy high. And I don't feel like I've been let down by him. I think he's playing about what I thought. I think for some people, they thought he was going to take another jump into not Tyrese Maxey level, but like maybe Tyrese Maxey of last year. Like a player that's like, this guy could be the second or third best player on a championship team. And he's clearly not there. But I don't know about you. I just think he needs the ball in his hands.
He does.
I feel like.
He does, bro.
D'Angelo's been playing really well, especially since all the trade rumors came up. Like the last week or two, he's been playing really well. He had like 14 assists last night.
Killed it last night.
But I just think Austin Reeves works well with the ball in his hands.
Right.
Like even if LeBron's on the court, I would rather have the ball in his hands than D'Angelo Russell's, which is in the case in that game that we lost to the Nets. There was just like, we just didn't have the ball in Reeves' hands, I felt like. Yeah. So.
I totally agree because like I said, last night, 32 points, 33 points, whatever it was he scored. He looked free. He looked in control. He was running the offense. He was taking crazy
crazy
shots,
pull-ups,
but
yeah.
but he was on fire. So should Reeves get the ball more, even when AD and or Braun is in the game? I should say, like basically give him full reins of the creating.
I think so, mainly because if you watch our offense, like even in that Warriors game that we won, that really close game, D'Angelo was the one initiating the offense, even if the play is gonna end up running through Braun or AD.
Yes.
D'Angelo's the one initiating, and I just don't trust his decision making as much.
Yeah.
I don't know that Austin Reeves is that much better of a passer, but I know he's a great shot creator, better than D'Angelo, I think. So I just would rather have, if the clock's winding down, I would rather have the ball in AR's hands than D'Angelo. And I just think
I agree with that.
That pick, like a Braun AR pick and roll or AR AD pick and roll, that
would be nasty. Yeah.
I think it would be better, but
and you're right with that because AR is really good at getting to the basket with the ball. I think how he does that jump stop and spin move, which is becoming his thing.
Yeah,
it works. It's a really good move.
No, it works.
I mean, I agree with that. I think he's definitely most effective when he has the ball in his hands.
Yeah, I think so.
If you're just gonna make him a shooter or something,
I'm just like he's not a great defender. He's energetic, so he's got that. But it's like, why else is he out there then? I think he's not a spot up knockdown shooter, so he should have the ball in his hands.
Right.
Is how I feel. But
I feel like he can get going a little more if he has control of the ball too. So.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
We'll see.
But that's what's going on in the NBA.
The one more piece of news: Steven Adams was traded for
Such
Victor Oladipo. Pretty random considering they're both injured. Right? I mean, I don't think Steven Adams is playing right now.
Is it because they wanted the 3 second-round picks?
Yeah, I guess so. Do you remember which way was that? Did Houston send the picks out? They did, right?
Yes,
because Oladipo, I think, is like done for the year after he hurt himself last year.
Which is, and even if he played, I'm like, they don't need a guard. Maybe it was just like a whole.
Definitely, Memphis does not need another guard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really like it outside of I guess they get some draft stock, which is good. They probably are either hoping to just bank that for the future or make another move before the trade deadline.
Maybe like a salary dump type of thing?
Maybe, or just bring in some other piece that is going to actually play since both Steven Adams and Brandon Clark weren't playing.
Yeah.
Maybe another big. But I don't know. I really like Steven Adams on that team.
I did too.
So
he was kind of like their vet, but also still serviceable big man,
Yeah, he was. I think he's still good. He's, what's crazy is that he's only just turned 30 last year.
Really?
And it feels like he's been in the NBA for
He also looks a little older.
He looks older.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
He's got that crazy look.
Looks like Aquaman.
So kind of a weird trade. I guess it'll be a good culture piece for the Rockets next year, but right now. And you know what? It does. If he's serviceable, like you said, next year, it allows Sengun to play the 4, which maybe will be a little bit more natural. I'm not really sure. But
I'm also just happy that Steven Adams and Boban are on the same team now.
That's a pretty funny pairing,
so
actually.
Random and funny, right?
I hated it when Boban and Tobias Harris finally got split up.
Yeah, I know.
They were bouncing around from team to team to team.
Together, though.
Yeah, because it was like they both ended up on the Clippers.
Sixers.
And then they both got traded to the Pistons.
Pistons, yeah.
And then I do think maybe Boban got traded to Philly with him, but then he got cut or something.
Yeah.
It was.
And then when they broke up, or when they split up, it was fun. It was a thing. It was like, oh no, my best friend.
I know. But that is, as you said, what's going on in the NBA. All-Star game's coming up soon.
How about the Tony? I wanted to bring up the Tony Snell thing because I think that was kind of that's kind of a big deal. I don't know if it's over now, but it'd be nice if somebody signed him so that his kids can get that help and insurance, medical help, whatever it is that they need.
Yeah, so the situation is that the NBA Players Association, the Retired Players Association, they guarantee lifetime health insurance through the NBA if you've played 10 years in the NBA. Tony Snell has been playing for Boston's G League team for the last few years. So it's not like
he plays for the main
Red Claws.
Red Claw, yeah,
that might be the old name. Sometimes they change the G League names. But But it's not like he hasn't been playing, you know? Like
Yeah.
he's been on that team for the last few years, and he was on the Pelicans for a little bit in 2022. So it's not like he's just retired 2 years ago and now it's like, oh, I need this.
He's fresh.
His two kids have both been diagnosed with autism, so that's been kind of his reasoning. From what he said is that he would like to have that support. So yeah, I think it'd be great if he got picked up.
Yeah,
and I liked Tony Snell when he was on the Bulls.
I did too.
I was kind of surprised he fell out of the league, but I thought he was a great defender and a decent shooter. So
I could see him on a squad, even just at the end of a bench.
Put him on the Lakers, man. We need some defense.
We need some defense for sure. And a lot of NBA players have come out to back him up too. Like Charles Barkley has come out and said something.
Which is a big one. Charles has got a lot of pull, even though he doesn't act like it.
And I'm sure, and he's, they said the NBA does a really good job of taking care of issues like this. So I'm hoping somehow even if he doesn't sign with a team, if they can figure something out to get him to be able to take care of his kids.
One more quick aside, because I was watching the clip from Inside last night.
Yeah.
Where Chuck says that.
Yeah.
But they tied it in with they came to Ernie told the guys like the situation for the Eastern Conference All-Stars, because this is another piece of news I guess we haven't talked about yet, is that Adrian Griffin was fired as the Bucks head coach, and they swiftly hired Doc Rivers, which I guess that's fine. I'm not a huge Doc Rivers fan, just mainly because I don't even think he's a bad coach. I honestly don't know if he's a great culture guy, because if you recall, he blamed Ben Simmons like outright after. And granted, Ben Simmons messed up in that playoff matchup against the Hawks. He passed it to what's his name that's on the Blazers now, the defender guy. I can't remember.
Grant?
No, someone that was, I can't think of his name, but
on the Blazers though.
He's on the Blazers now. He passed
the one that when he was under the basket.
Yeah, when he had a dunk, he had a wide open dunk, and he passed it, and they missed, and they ended up losing that game. Doc Rivers immediately blamed him, which is like
it's not cool.
Not cool to do it publicly and immediately. And then last year he also blamed Harden, and it's like, I'm not saying those guys didn't have fault in those losses. I think they most definitely did.
Yeah. But as a coach.
But like, you need to support your guys.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, I think he's a pretty good X's and O's guy, and he's a good leader.
I always felt as a coach, he was a very good motivational speaker. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's a good war guy. Like you want to go to war with him, but if you want to,
And this he has a good opportunity with this Bucks team. Not really as close as that Celtics team in terms of how good they were, but he has an opportunity to kind of be successful here. So let's see.
Thybulle. That's who he passed it to.
Wow. Crazy.
But here's the situation, all that aside. Right now, the Knicks and Bucks are tied with, or not tied, but they're 2-3. Bucks are 2, Knicks are 3. They both have 32 wins. Knicks right now have 17 losses, and the Bucks have 16 losses.
Okay.
Joe Mazzulla coached the Eastern All-Stars last year, so he's not eligible to coach the Eastern All-Stars this year, which means that if the Bucks are second, Doc Rivers is the Eastern Conference All-Stars coach after
I guess
5 games.
Yeah.
That would be.
That'd be, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they'd change something just, because it's kind of weird optics, but that would be so funny if Doc Rivers coached the Eastern Conference All-Stars.
I don't know too if the other coaches behind him would be mad, because I think that a lot of them take All-Star Weekend as a time to kind of be with their family.
Well, definitely.
But
I mean,
I can see some of them being like, I've been coaching all year. You know what I mean?
Tom Thibodeau probably does not care. He's the guy that's not going to be like, I need to coach.
Yeah.
Now, JB Bickerstaff, who's coaching the Cavs, they're in 4th with 30 wins right now. Maybe. I mean, they have to earn it first. There's still a little bit ways to go, and it doesn't look like they'll do it. But I could see a guy like Bickerstaff, who hasn't been in the league long, might be like, I want to coach the All-Star
come on,
game.
man. Yeah, I want to be that.
Especially because I think Tibbs coached it back in 2011
with the Bulls
when D Rose won MVP. So, but that's it. Let's talk about some shoes.
Let's get some shoes.
First up, a pair for the ladies. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's
Next
Day,
week,
ladies.
not this week.
Not yet.
The Superstar XLG,
Classic.
the extra large These are the chunky version.
Just a classic.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a cool. I kind of like that Adidas does this with some of their models. Like
Yes.
chunkify them. I saw they're doing this XLG with the Stan Smith. Yeah, look at that.
That thing
Looks like an Air Force One or something.
There's definitely a sole there.
It's definitely very cushiony.
Yes. I mean, it's a classic model that you see on the street all the time. I don't think that's ever
Yeah.
faded.
Thank you, Run DMC.
Run DMC, the shell toe. I see a lot of the women wearing it kind of like with this style, with like the legging, the sock over, and then the white shoe.
Yeah, you've been looking cute, by the way.
How's my butt?
So good.
But like I said, the white shoe is kind of a staying force in the last couple of years. Like just kind of been a thing that every brand is doing right now with like a lot of white, light colored shoes. So which is perfect for Superstar because it's mainly white, and then you change out all these colors, which
Yeah. Lots of stuff you can do with the Superstar.
Yes, and which is why in this case it's a high top. They also have like a Superstar basketball shoe. They have different styles of it. So, good job on picking this one, bro.
This is a little bit more expensive though than your standard
Really?
Superstar. This is $130. So you're paying for that cushion. You're paying for that memory foam sole there.
For sure.
Which also, another quick aside, I just wanted to say, I got my new Terminators. Happy birthday to me. Thanks, Mom and Dad. After wearing these and the high tops for quite a bit of time now, even though I like the feel on the whole of my foot, there's, just so everyone knows, there's not a lot of cushion on the heel. It's pretty lacking, especially compared to like a Jordan.
So in terms of comfort wise, you would rather have the high? Is what you're saying?
No, I think high or low, the heel, like the bottom of your heel, there's just
there's nothing back there
down here. So like the Jordans I have, even those are like feel like way more supported
towards the back.
Yeah.
Okay. I wonder now too if you should maybe insole those. Like
that's what I was thinking.
Customized
An insole in this for my heel would make them feel way better. They're still like, I wouldn't wear these to the theme park is what I'm trying to say. But if you were
for 8 hours,
if you're just going to work, or if you're like me and you sit down on your big butt all day, then yeah, it's fine. So
okay, well,
but just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, good little review.
Could get some more support. I'm curious to compare them. I still don't have a dunk, but
yeah,
I'd be curious to compare them because I know the dunks are comfy, cozy.
Yeah, I would imagine too. The dunk might be a little lighter. It might be the same type of weight.
These are not too heavy, but definitely this midsole is pretty thick.
Yeah.
So,
pretty pair though.
That's that. Yeah, I do. I love the look.
If you've been watching the podcast, you've also loved the Carolina colorway for a long time,
yes,
right?
Yes, I really wanted it.
Yeah, you got one. Yes.
Yeah, I really like them. Okay.
Good cop.
Yes.
Mom and pop.
Good cop, mom and
pop. Yeah.
Can I take you to the shop?
Top.
Will you never stop?
The absolute top.
Next up.
Good pick, by the way.
Another. Well, this pair is in all sizes. This pair is an equal opportunity pair.
Okay. So pretty.
Valentine's Day release of the Air Force One 07s.
Yes.
The LX version, the luxury.
The luxury, yes.
These ones are cool. I was reading on the description. They said that like the little like rows and stuff you see, it's supposed to be a nod to the bodega bags in New York that say "Have a good day."
Okay.
So I think there's other little touches on there that you probably can't see.
I love
just from the picture.
The backstories of that. I love that.
What do you think of these?
I like a lot. I like the light pink. It's not like
It's not hot.
It's not a hot pink or like a very like popping.
Yeah,
type
no,
of
it's a pastel-y, which I love those, honestly.
Yeah. And then they added the little details, which what to me makes the shoe, which is adding the red back there.
Yeah, the red.
Obviously the rose, and then the little special stitching on the toe tag. So just a pretty pair. This year specifically, which I said last episode, Nike is dropping a lot of Valentine's Day stuff.
Yeah.
There is so many dunks and Air Force Ones coming out for the Valentine's drop. But this is one of the
One of the earlier. These are out
Yes.
right now,
Yes,
and they
this-
are almost sold out. Just so if you guys are interested, hop on it now. $135 for these, and they have a companion white pair.
Yes.
That has it's pretty much all white or cream with a little pink and the red accents.
Yeah.
So
and they don't, Nike does not really miss on their Valentine's drops. They just haven't done this many in volume. But I think every pair they made for this season's holiday is actually pretty nice.
there's also one that, and I don't think it's a Valentine's release, but it might as well be. Another Air Force One where just the swoosh is pink and the rest of the shoe is white. And I think the liner
Yes.
might be pink too. Which one would you prefer? A little quick copper drop between
A little quick one.
this and the all white with the pink swoosh. It's a little more subtle. You could get away with it in probably more situations.
Yes, I think the other one would be a little would be a little more would be better to wear on like, oh, I'm just gonna throw these on real quick
Yeah.
because pink can be a little hard to match.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Obviously, nowadays people wear
There's a time and place though.
yes a lot of colors with a lot of colors, but for me personally, this pink would be a little harder to match. Though I do like them and would wear them. You know.
I do. I like the look of them.
They're great.
I don't know
No,
what
they're
I'd
great.
put them with either right now, but they're pretty dope.
And then I'm also a huge like supporter of like the breast cancer awareness and all that stuff. So I love the pink shoe.
Yeah, rock them all November. That's for sure.
Yes.
Very,
choice.
very cool pair. Very well done. And then last up, your pick for new releases, which this is also coming out on Valentine's Day, supposedly, but not a Valentine's release.
Not a Valentine and a little controversy.
Little controversy.
Yes.
The Trophy Room Jordan 1 Lows.
I wanted to get your opinion on this first. So how do you feel about this pair?
I mean, there's a lot of nice touches. I am not crazy about the satin. But I do like this the stitch swoosh.
Sick.
And I also like that the midsole is cream. I think that changes it up and makes it pretty unique.
Because you can tell there's a contrast now.
Yeah. But otherwise, it's like for most people, if you were to get these, if I just had a pair of Chicago 1s, you probably wouldn't know the difference.
Yes.
Just even
I agree.
Even if you're a big sneakerhead and you just saw someone walking by, you might not know it's this pair.
Yes, I agree.
But I do think, I mean, the stitch swoosh is pretty. It does push it over.
I also like the material back there. I don't know what that material is, but it's a little kind of like furry a little bit. But it also, and then it has Michael Jordan's signature.
Yes.
Which
So that is a pretty cool
sick.
touch.
And then the gold touch right in the back.
The gold is pretty cool. There's also, so this is the away colorway, and there's the home colorway, which I believe I have a picture of. Just a white swoosh, pretty much. Oh yeah, I see what you mean. It's almost like a carpet material.
Yes.
So I like the different use of materials. That's not something you get a lot from Nike. Not that this is an official Nike release, but I like that mix of materials. So I think it's a cool shoe, and it's reportedly going to be from Yankee Kicks on Instagram. Supposedly it's coming out for $140, so it's not crazy.
Which brings me to the next point. If you can get a pair.
Yes. And why is that?
And
detail us.
Yes, and I told Julian I wanted to briefly speak about this, but it is a Trophy Room shoe, and Trophy Room is a store in Chicago that is owned by Marcus Jordan, which is one of Jordan's sons. Mostly known for backdooring his pairs. So, which is something that's not new, that's been happening for years now.
Yeah.
Which I think is what's really killing the game. Yeah, people will resell forever, right? They'll up the prices of shoes, but to not even let the people get a chance to get their hands on a pair is not fair at all, and I don't like that at all.
Yeah.
For someone to come up to a shop owner like Marcus Jordan and be like, "Hey, the Trophy Room 1 Lows, I want 400 pairs, all size runs. I'll give you $1 million." Right? I mean, I get the payday for him, but then, like,
it's about integrity.
You know what I'm saying? And like, Your dad is Michael Jordan, bro. Like, are you?
You don't need the money.
You don't need.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying he doesn't, but it's also like in terms of the culture, why would you? Like, you're ruining it. You know what I mean? You have this. You have a platform. You have your own store. Your dad is the god. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, it's not a good look. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
it's a really
How
bad.
do you feel about all that stuff?
In a way, it's kind of inevitable.
Yeah.
You know, I agree that it's.
And he's not the only one that does it.
No, yeah, I agree that you don't want it, and
Yeah.
especially when you're in. Yeah, I mean, when you're in a position like that, when your dad is Michael Jordan, and no one likes to speculate, but you've always heard stuff throughout the years of like tumultuous relationships with anyone in Jordan's personal life.
Mm-hmm.
There's always, besides his parents, there's always kind of been something,
Mm-hmm.
like it's always, it sounds a little, he sounds like a tough guy to get along with in
Yeah.
a day-to-day setting, which makes sense. He sounds stubborn and competitive, and that can be hard.
Kind of like a my way or the highway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but it is, if you look at it from afar, and we obviously don't know what their relationship is like, but when you look at it and you're like, dude, your dad's Michael Jordan, you could have any pair you want. You could say, I just want one
Yes.
pair designed this way just for me. I just want it. So you do think if you're going to run a sneaker shop or a shop that sells, exclusive Jordans and stuff like that, I would expect you should look at it from like a more philanthropic point of view. Like, I just want to do this because I love shoes. Like,
Yeah, dude, and because of what he did, it seems like okay. I only just wanted to get paid for it. You know what I mean? And it had your store loses like the respect because you're not even giving the people what what you're supposed to be giving them.
And again, it's not like, that's not how business works.
Yeah.
You can't, like, I'm sure he can't just be like, hey, Nike, I want 500 pairs just for me and my 499 friends,
But they'd have that.
But he could get more than most, like you said.
Yes.
A lot of famous celebrities have their friends and family pairs.
Yeah.
Certainly, Michael Jordan's kid can get
You can get that too.
kind of whatever he wants.
Yes.
So I don't know. I think it's tough. Like I said, I do think almost any shop is probably going to be backdooring a few just because of the money you can make from
Yeah.
the people who are crazy about this thing. But yeah, it's kind of a vicious cycle because, like you said, people can't get a fair shake on them,
Exactly.
which encourages them to go out to resellers. But like, if you it's just a whole, it's a bad thing, because if they had a fair chance at them, then resellers might not be making as much money, and it wouldn't be as valuable to go just buy the whole lot for a bunch of money.
Right.
So
And I also get if he doesn't do it, somebody else will do it. I get the hustle of it to make money, but this is why the game is getting ruined, because this is why people are getting forced to pay the resale price, when if they have a higher chance of getting this pair, there's a good amount of people that don't have to pay that price.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like we said, the person that they are, you have a platform, and your dad is your dad is who he is. Just do the right thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it just seems
it's tough,
easy to just not worry about it. Like,
right?
Just if you like designing these shoes and you like having these special collabs,
Yeah.
and you like selling them, then just sell them. Like, honestly, when you're that, I mean, again, who knows what the situation is, but when you have that much access and presumably that much wealth,
Yes.
everything should just be a game to you, man. It should
Yeah.
just be for fun. It shouldn't be like,
Yeah, do it for the people, man.
let me hustle this back door. Like,
Yeah.
I don't.
And I don't know. It's just
tough.
it's a really tough thing, and a lot of these resellers, they're wealthy too, because they've been doing this for so long, so they're just gonna keep continuing to do it.
Yeah, of course.
So for all you people out there, like us, who are just regular shoe heads trying to get our pairs, just keep doing your thing.
Good luck.
And hopefully, hopefully
Yeah.
these owners will be better at that. I'm not. Again, I want to say not every shop owner is like that. I know some good ones out there who do the right thing and raffle their pairs off and do it the right way. But hopefully this time around he kind of learned his lesson, and we all get a fair shake at trying to get this pair.
Yeah, just briefly when I was looking up this release, I haven't seen like normally if I look up a shoe that has yet to come out,
Yeah.
one of the top links is a StockX link. I haven't seen anything yet. I don't know about you. So
Like that, like early pairs.
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen anything about this yet. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he already gifted his friends and family pairs that we just haven't seen yet. I'm sure they're out there already.
yeah.
Well, just one last point. The toughest thing that pissed me off the most was the trophy room Jordan 1 highs that came out first that he backdoored to everybody. He still went on with the raffle.
Oh yeah, that's pretty shitty.
And then to email everybody
pretty bad.
like thousands of emails after to say, "Oh, your pair is not going to be fulfilled."
Yeah.
Why still go on with the raffle, dude?
Why just cancel it?
I get it. You're trying to save face, like, okay, I see, I did raffle it. People got their pairs. Maybe just you didn't get yours. But to tell everybody that they didn't get their pairs.
Yeah. So that's pretty. I didn't know about that. That's
Yeah,
pretty
dude,
bad.
it was a legal battle. I don't know if they settled. I don't know what happened, but just for people out there, just be good people, man. Like,
Do your best.
do your thing. Yeah, do the right thing. I mean,
Well, thank you for letting us know. Find the good fight.
yeah, man.
Now I'm gonna make you fight some more.
Uh-oh.
It's time for America's favorite game show.
Yes.
Deal or no deal? Howie Mandel, come on in.
$5.
Deal.
Phone a friend. wrong game. No.
I'd like to solve. It is that time. Kibbity, kibbity, coppity, drop.
It's your favorite game, Love Connection.
Love
Chuck Woolery.
Love boat.
K Drizzle.
K Drizzle. Kevin,
I was
phone me.
don't
Beat me.
don't do it, Kev.
Tweet me.
Easy Money Drizzle.
Easy money drizzle.
Okay. Cop or drop. I couldn't think of any other game show themes.
Yeah, I don't know any other famous ones like that.
Yeah, I think we used all.
Oh well, yeah, we used the good ones.
What's Family Feud?
No clue. Not even the
You don't
slightest
know?
clue of what their theme song could even possibly be.
Okay.
They might
Never
honestly.
mind.
There's some game shows that it's like, "Welcome to Family Feud," and it's just
Oh,
like
that's
the
right.
crowd,
Yeah.
and then I don't know.
And they don't have a song. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
Wait, brief me a little bit. Wait.
We're sticking.
What went into this week's?
It's a little more casual,
Okay.
and it's something. It's along the lines of a shoe we talked about today.
Can I play basketball in them?
You cannot.
Okay.
Not these versions.
Okay.
I would not recommend it
Okay.
unless you want broken ankles.
I'm already hurting, bro. I don't want any broken ankles.
But yeah, we've been talking about one of these models for quite a bit, and the other one literally just today. So, on this week's Copper Drop, we're keeping it in the 3-stripe family,
Okay.
and we got the Adidas Superstar
Ooh.
versus the Adidas Samba.
Whoa.
Very casual, $100 each, always in stock. You can never not get these. The two lead shoes
Classics.
for the Adidas shoe wear company.
9th grade, my very first day of high school, I had a pair of Adidas Superstars.
Okay.
Okay.
Did you have a bucket, a Kangol?
I didn't have a Kangol hat.
Okay.
I wore it with shorts. I
Tracksuit.
remember. I remember it. I had shorts. I wore it with like a collared shirt. I thought it was fresh. The pair was brand new. I think the stripes were navy blue, not the black. Navy blue. I did put the fat laces on them.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
because that was the style, kind of like the break dancer look
Yeah,
type of thing.
yeah.
So the Superstar has a special place in my heart. The Samba, I think, is one of the more sleeker, prettier looking models for Adidas. For me.
Growing in popularity.
Huge right now. I mean, how many?
Consistently, yeah.
Julian put in the last couple of weeks a lot of the
We had the Messi
the
Samba.
Messi
We
Sambas.
had Wales Bonner
Bonners,
Sambas.
and
Pharrell, I think, has some Sambas right now.
the Pharrell has Sambas, and Julian put a couple of the Wales Bonners, but not all of them because there's a million of them
Yeah,
that came out.
there's
and
a
they're-
lot.
and they're all pretty dope.
Yeah.
And I've gotten to love the Samba more throughout the years. So I am going to cop the Samba.
Wow.
Yes, and
I did
drop
not.
the Superstar only because of where I am now in my shoe life. I think if I were to cop one right now, I would have to cop the Samba. No
Wow.
disrespect to you, because I have the most respect for
Because you're a superstar.
You are my groupie, baby. That's a Usher song.
You're a shining star. No matter who you
Oh.
are.
Yes, Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Not a superstar, but a shining
You're a
star.
superstar, no matter what you are.
Wow, I did not expect that.
You didn't expect. Yeah. If you notice, I've been been going the other way the last couple
Yeah.
drops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've been fooling me.
Switching. I'm switching it up.
You've been taking me for a fool.
You're fooling me.
You're joshing me, dude.
Okay, what are you copying and what are you dropping and why?
I would take the superstar right now.
Yeah.
Mainly just because it's an iconic look. You know, it's an iconic shoe in America specifically. You know, I mean mainly New York, but still I think it's just like this had this time and place where it was like the only shoe in the world pretty much. So, and I do like the shape a little bit more. I think I like my shoes a little bit thicker,
A little bigger, yeah.
like you said, the Samba is sleek. But yeah, I don't know. The way if you know, just a standard Samba and a standard Superstar, I'm probably going Superstar. But
Yeah.
like the Wales Modern ones,
Moderners.
those ones are just there's something about them, man. I don't know what it is.
They went off on those.
They're like even more sleek.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I would probably go with the Superstar right now. I think it's something I could see myself wearing in more everyday situations.
They're both perfect for everyday. Honestly,
Yeah.
you know, everyday wears. If you want to dress them up, you can do that. You'd like. I've seen people.
Yeah, I think you can.
I've seen people wear, you know, like their suits with some Superstars sometimes. It really depends on your drip or whatever it
a
is.
Suitor Star,
Yeah. Samba Star.
Samba Star.
But yeah, it really depends. I could have gone either way. But like I said, I'm switching it up on you, bro.
I feel like this is for the last few copper drops we haven't agreed.
That's true.
We've been opposing.
That's true. I think the last one we agreed on was like a basketball shoe, maybe, or like what?
Yeah.
It was before. What was that?
I think it
3
was
episodes ago.
I think it was maybe not even in this year. It was last year.
Are we drifting apart?
You know, with time.
It just hasn't felt the same.
I mean, I didn't want to do this on camera, but
Turn it off.
bring my lawyer in. Well, thank you for copying and dropping on this classic. Yeah, I wanted to do some classics, switch it up. You know, we mostly do Nike or basketball shoes, so
Yeah.
casual.
You make it
Adidas.
tough for me every week, bro. Like I said, I could choose either one every single time. So good choices.
Thank you, sir. Let's jump into those heats. Those heaters on them
The
feeders.
hotness on, I don't know.
Those hotness on your fought.
The topness.
Ness.
I don't know.
Let me see them heaters on them feeders.
Let's see the heat on the feet, man. What you
First
got?
up, we got a pair that you sent me. And still, every time I see this shoe,
Trip out.
I double take. I'm like, that's right. That's what it is.
It's a crazy, dude. Can you imagine how big the box is for this shoe?
Oh, I never thought about that. It must be
imagine,
crazy.
right?
I want to get a pair just for that now.
It's like,
What, I thought you ordered shoes.
crank it open.
It is shoes.
Yeah. Get the other side.
Here it is. DeMar DeRozan in the Nike Kobe 9 Elite.
Yes. There's also a low version. This is
This is the extra high version.
these are the knee highs. I mean, just a couple cool details about the shoe. The stitches in the back represent all the stitches he had for his Kobe's Achilles
Torn Achilles.
surgery. Yes, the shoe was made after that surgery to obviously support more of his
Yes,
leg
yeah.
and his feet. I think the design is beautiful, just not maybe a pair I would wear.
It would be tough
lot.
to pull off.
And definitely not, you can't wear that every day.
No, that is not an everyday wear. I'd be curious to see what it feels like to play ball in that, because you know, everyone talks about high tops have more support for your ankle, and obviously rolling an ankle is probably the most common basketball injury,
Big time.
especially just for guys like you and me who are just out hooping for fun.
Yes.
So I wonder, like, but I almost feel like for me that would be too restrictive. Like,
Yes.
maybe it works really well, and I can like, not that I'm gonna be cutting like a professional, but like, if I wanted to cut to the hoop, I feel like that sometimes you need that mobility a little bit.
You'll be held back a little bit
if you're gonna stop and go and stuff. So
Right.
I'm curious to see. Maybe one day, try them on.
Yeah, I felt the same way too. I threw on a high top recently, and it was just kind of like, I kind of want to have the freedom to move a little more.
Yeah.
I wonder too if that's just from wearing low tops the last few years and just getting
Just
used,
not used to it, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe one day we'll do a wear test.
We'll be wear testers.
We'll be wear testers. Shout out wear testers. But we'll try it out.
Here's a close up. There's the stitchings back there that you're talking about.
But the design here is nice, right?
Yeah, no,
it's pretty, right?
The lows of this would be sick. Look at that tongue.
That's a tongue, all right.
That's just it's
so high
just
up.
in a way it's just comical. Like it's like a boot, but it's a basketball shoe. I mean, obviously you can tell that material is pretty malleable, but
it's and.
I mean,
good
DeMar
couple
doesn't
wears
even have laced them up. Can you imagine if you did
all the way.
one more?
How long are those laces? 100?
Oh, that's an excellent question. This is a cool pair though. This kind of red camo.
They just did a good job with like the fly. They used the Flyknit for this.
Yeah, the Flyknit looks
front
super good.
Is super nice. And then just the design and the color. They didn't miss on that.
The lace loops there. I like that little touch.
And the guy wearing it is probably has the biggest Kobe collection.
I think he's probably the Kobe king. He is.
In terms of just Kobe's,
Yeah.
I would probably give it to him, even though our boy PJ Tucker will fight him for that. I know that.
I'm sure he will.
How'd he do, man?
So this game where he wore these was on January 3rd against the Knicks. The Bulls won, surprisingly, 116 to 100, which the Bulls don't. Or no, I'm sorry, I had that wrong. They lost 100 to 116. I flipped it around.
And you know what? They're a bad team, but they're only like 3 or 4 games below 500.
They're certainly not great. They're about as good as the Lakers, unfortunately.
Yes, which sucks.
Yeah, they're 23 and 26 right now. They are currently the 9 seed, which they probably have on lock because even though the Bulls aren't great,
how bad is it after?
It's pretty bad after. You have the Hawks who are just falling into disarray unless they're playing the Lakers. Yep. They're 20 and 27. Then you have the Nets, who I thought would be better. They're 19 and 28. Then you have the Raptors, again, thought they would be better, 17 and 30. And then after that, it's Charlotte, Washington, and Detroit, who...
It's just bad.
It's just really bad.
Oh, I just want to bring up real quick. Steve Clifford, did you hear his quote yesterday?
No.
He just said, it's not that our guys, we don't have the right guys. We're just not talented enough. Ouch.
What does that mean? You don't have the right... Those are the wrong guys then.
It's the wrong guys.
I don't know if you know about this, but like your team should be good at basketball.
And then you just told your players, you're not good. I'm happy for our boy Terry, Scary Terry, because he is now on a team that will give him a shot.
Although that team is also doing pretty poorly.
I know, what the heck?
They are not doing very well. So who knows what's up with that?
Okay. Debo.
Kobe, so Debo had 28 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal and a block, no turnovers, and only 1 foul on 10 of 13 shooting. And that's just the problem with the Bulls right there, is that you can have DeMar have a pretty solid game, and you still lose by 16 points.
Yeah.
They just don't have the oomph, I don't feel like. There's something missing.
Yeah, and which is kind of hard to believe too, because you have you have Caruso, who kind of developed his shot, and he's your defender. You have Vucevic, who's awesome. I think he's awesome.
He's pretty good.
Just a bad mix.
A bad mix of guys.
No Lonzo.
Yeah, no Lonzo really has hurt them in the long term.
They did have an emergence of Kobe White.
Kobe White has been playing
amazing.
Well. 26 points and 8 assists in this game, so that's pretty good for a de facto point guard who is not a point guard.
I'm proud of that guy. Yeah.
Randall had 35. Brunson had 31 points and 13 assists, which leads us to our next heater on the feeder.
Oh, that's a good segue.
Jalen Brunson, also wearing Kobe's.
Fire.
And you said these are this game was just last night, so as I was looking at it, I didn't actually have much time to research.
But I forgot the name of these. These came out obviously when the fives were out, but these are the Kobe fives, and the design on the shoe is all of Kobe's accolades. So the 81 points is on there. His 35,000 points is on. Is it 35,000 that he has, or whatever? His total amount of points is on there.
Yeah,
The amount of rings is up there. Yeah, so everything's on that shoe. Gold to represent his rings and the Olympics, and the black and white obviously is just to represent like the writing and all that stuff.
They're a sick pair. They kind of look like.
I almost wouldn't wear it just because I might frame those.
They're a super sick pair. They have the black and white vibes. Kind of remind me of almost like Shaqnosis.
Yes,
like they look like almost graffiti or like it's like kind of crazy.
Yeah,
but it works really well. Mm-hmm. They're super sick,
and it's cool that they did it throughout the whole shoe.
Yes,
to make it an all over.
The body of it is super dope.
So nice.
As I mentioned, this game was just last night from when we were recording, so February 1st.
It was a good game.
Yeah, pretty good game. Pacers Knicks. Tyrese Halliburton, I didn't really realize this, is still on a minutes restriction following his hamstring injury, I think it was. So he's playing around 20 minutes a game. So maybe he only played 21 minutes last night. So maybe if he played more, it'd be a bit of a game. But the Knicks did win 109-105. Randall is hurt, so I guess, tit for tat on that one with him and Halliburton.
That's another unfortunate one because the team's still doing so well.
Hopefully he shouldn't be out for too long. He dislocated his shoulder, which sounds awful, but I think dislocations generally are like easier to...
As long as there's no damage from the dislocation.
Yeah. Brunson had himself a game, though, and he's been...
on a tear.
He's been balling out. He had 40 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 turnovers, and 3 fouls on 15 of 30 shooting. So he was slanging that thing. Dante DiVincenzo had 20 points, and then Josh Hart had a pretty good game, too. 12 rebounds, which he's just so good at that for his size, especially. And 5 points. 0 for 6 from the field, though. But Josh Hart, I really like. He's one of my favorite players. Obviously, biased former Laker, but he's got the hustle factor, man. You
gotta love how he contributes. Yeah.
Even if it's not scoring, he's just one of those guys that is going to make a difference in the game.
And I think their relationship from playing with each other in college helps a lot too. In the locker room,
They definitely seem to be having fun. Brunson got his first All-Star selection. He's going to be a backup.
Congrats,
27 points per game, 6.4 assists,
deserved.
and 4 rebounds on 48% shooting. And, of course, as we mentioned, the Knicks have the 3rd best record in the East.
And he just accepted the invitation to the 3-point contest.
Oh, nice. I didn't know that. That'll be good. The 3-point contest should be fun. The mini one they're doing between Steph and Sabrina. That's going to be good. Sabrina's a shooter.
Sabrina is, she's got a flamethrower.
Yes, it's going to be super fun.
They did like splits on Sabrina and Curry. And I think a lot of their stats were kind of like the same.
I'm sure they're pretty close. I think it'd be cool too. I mean, this would be a little bit out there, but throwing some Caitlin Clark. Oh
man,
that would be nasty.
The ultimate flamethrower. I had a question for you, because I saw.
I'm married.
I don't have a question then. I saw a picture of Brunson when he was still on the Mavs with Luka. And Kristaps was still there as well.
Yes, yeah.
How do you think that team would have been if those 3 were still there?
I think we kind of saw the maximum of that team when they made that playoff run and they beat the Suns. And then Luka got hurt against the Jazz and Brunson stepped up. I think that's as good as they were going to get. Is that Luka and I just don't know if Luka and Brunson could coexist.
Not enough basketball.
To the fullest of their abilities, just because they both need the ball in their hands. Yeah. They're both the lead guard. They have the ball. It's not that Brunson's like a bad shooter or something, but it's like he would be underutilized if he didn't have the ball in his hands.
Basically kind of like, not the same type of player, but in terms of creating, they need the same type of player because they need the ball.
Yeah. They're very different players, but they both are going to be their most effective with the ball.
Okay.
And obviously it's working with Kyrie, but Kyrie is a crazy good shooter and a pretty good off the ball guy. Where Brunson could be, but you know, I think that team capped out about where they did. You know, second round appearance, maybe conference finals.
Yeah. Kyrie gives you that, you know, almost like a decoy too. Like, who's gonna take the last shot? Is it me or Luka? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think you could get some of that with Brunson.
Yeah.
But having Kyrie be able to just be a shooter too sometimes, very valuable for the Mavs.
And it seems like it's working out. They have a winning record and they're doing pretty well.
Yeah, you know, I think for a while people were clowning them like, how did you let Brunson go? But I do think, you know, Kyrie hasn't had any drama somehow, so it's working out for the Mavs. That trade. I do think they sent out a lot of good pieces. Yeah, and especially Dorian Finney-Smith.
It's I just think it's really easy to get caught up in seeing these things that where they used to be and be like, what could have? Yeah. But you know, they did what I felt like. Both teams did what they had to.
I think they did what was best. I mean, it's tough to let someone like Brunson walk for nothing. That's always going to hurt. But I think the Mavs, I think they're happy with where they're at. Yeah. I don't think they're missing Brunson necessarily.
Right.
Last up for those Heat on top of your feet is another pair you sent me.
Fire.
Super cool pair.
Fire.
Derek Jones Jr., speaking of the Mavs.
Going with the pink theme here.
Going with the pink theme. A week early, but, you know, we'll do it. A little hard to see here, but there he is going up.
The high flyer.
Yes, the high flyer that he is. He actually got injured in this game.
I saw.
He hasn't played since this game.
And it's an annoying injury, the wrist, right?
Yep.
God. Poor guy.
Here's a close-up of his shoes, though. He was wearing the KD 4 or 6? I think it was 6.
Yes.
He wore the Galaxy 4s the game before this.
Because
big KD guy.
Because the KD 4 is making a comeback.
Yes, they're re-releasing the Galaxy 4, right?
There's a Galaxy 4. There's a yellow and blue one that just came out recently. I think that was just one of the KDs that the NBA world really loved and fans really liked, which is why they brought that back.
Yeah.
The 6 might be my favorite KD of all time.
Oh, wow.
And the Aunt Pearl might be my favorite KD colorway of all time.
He always has a cool.
Yeah, because it's like the roses, it's for his aunt, and who was sick and all that. And so I love the meaning behind it and the colorway and the design.
Always super dope.
Pristine. Yeah, it's perfect. So, you know, shout out to Derek for bringing that out. You don't really see NBA players wear those.
It's funny because I always thought, you know, KD is a huge guy, and every time we talk about the shoes that he's actually wearing, his feet look huge. But I'm starting to think it's just his shoes make your feet look big. Because even not that Derek Jones is small, but like his feet look massive here.
They're skinny but long.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, they're made for him. So I mean, if your foot is not
Derek Jones fits that.
He really does, though. He does.
This was in that absolute scorcher that Luka had. This was Mavs vs. Hawks on January 26th. Somehow, despite what I'm about to tell you, the Mavs won 148 to 143. I don't know how the game was as close as it was because Luka Doncic scored the highest amount of points since Kobe Bryant scored 81 points.
He
had 73 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists. Derek Jones Jr., he did not get to finish the game, as we mentioned. 17 minutes for him, 2 points, a rebound, 1 assist. But yeah, Luka just decided, you know what? I will win this game by myself.
Yeah, I got this, guys.
So I looked it up. He scored or assisted on. He had 7 assists to go with his 73 points. Scored or assisted on 89 of their 148 points, which is about 60% of their total points. Kobe only had 2 assists in his 81-point game. So he scored or assisted on 86 points. Total and they only scored 122 though. So he had 7. He was he was responsible for 70% of their points.
Yeah, so like 30 to close to 40 points were his teammates on their own. Yeah, which is wild.
Yeah, I'd be
even
curious.
to be able half of that is crazy, bro.
I'd be curious to see what the highest amount of points
contributed.
Between assists and scoring is. probably Kobe's.
It's probably up there.
Got to be like I would imagine the highest, but you never know. Maybe Luka might have like 65 and like 12 assists, which could push you over.
Yeah.
But as far as percentage, I think Kobe's probably one of the highest because these games are just crazy high scoring. Like it's funny because I was listening to Zach Lowe talk about this game.
Yeah.
And he's like, the Hawks weren't. He said they never really looked worried because they were like, oh, we'll just let Luka score because we know we can score on the other end, which is like
we're scoring
insane
142
to me. Like I don't understand how it's possible to score 73 points and only win by 5.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's really weird.
Was that the same night or the same week where everybody was scoring 140?
Yeah, it was the same. So on this day, Booker had 60, 61 or 62, I think. And then a few days prior, Joel had his 70-point game,
That's right.
Joel Embiid. And then Kat had 62 points.
All in the same week of the anniversary of the 81-point game too. So
super weird.
Cool. Weird but cool that it happened.
Embiid specifically, shout out Kobe because he did it. Him and Kat did it on January on the anniversary of Kobe's game, I think. So pretty weird.
Yeah.
Pretty like. Yeah, very very cool. There must be something about mid-January in the NBA.
Yeah, I also liked KD's reaction when.
Oh yeah, it was really funny.
He's like 70. I was like, I like seeing them be happy for each other. You know what I mean?
You know, love him or hate him, KD loves basketball.
He does.
He loves the NBA. So, I guess we're done.
Okay.
Oh, my computer died.
Oh, well, good thing. Oh, wow. I was gonna say, at least we're good, we're done, but then we really are done.
Well, I guess that's it, everybody. Sorry, computer died.
This is dead too.
This is dead. So, if you can hear us, we'll see you later. Next week.
My
bad.
No, I don't care.
We did everything we said.
We literally finished it.